What it do, y'all? This is your boy Shay Speaks. I want to talk to you guys about Daredevil Season 3, Episode 5, The Perfect Game. And this episode was a perfect game. We saw from the very beginning. And we get a little bit more into Benjamin Bullseye Poindexter's psyche, in my opinion, because we see how meticulous this man is. You know, we just saw that just from the well neatly stacked bulletin newspapers that have the headline in bold print: botched FBI motorcade accident incident. And for the most part, you can tell that really affected Special Agent Poindexter because, as we all know, the man doesn't miss. At least not yet. But we just saw just how meticulous he is. You know, we saw that from the like as I mentioned, the neatly stacked papers, from the coffee mugs, make sure everything's clean, to the crooked photo that that guy a little crooked when he was leaving his house. And then you actually literally opened the door, which he left unlocked, by the way, and re-straightened the picture frame. And the thing is, what I noticed in particular is the Brooklyn Suicide Prevention Center, which makes what opts me to believe that maybe he has suicidal tendencies and struggles with depression, or whether it be a form of depression or not, or it's just or probably just depression. Period. It doesn't really matter. But and we saw this. We see him look at this woman that he really loves. Like we kind of saw her in a past couple episodes too. I forgot her name in particular, but he did mention to some of his fellow agent and comrades that hey, he's really digging her. So we'll probably see more of her. Maybe she gets tied into the story. We'll see. Furthermore, I just want to mention also, Wilson Fisk is a master manipulator, man. He literally had his cronies, Donovan, his lawyer Donovan, pretty much finesse the FBI. And the FBI pretty much has their back against the wall. And they say, all right, look, he's given us all pretty much we want. Even his attorney even said so. I gave you the syndicate. That's all crumbled down now. The dark web stuff there, and now we even are going after Matt Murdock, even though because he just lied right there by saying that there's a guy who's mishandled evidence for me, a facilitator, if you will, and things of that nature. As a matter of fact, in the very beginning of the episode, we learned that actually Felix Manning is the same woman that Karen went up to her house to talk about because he runs the Red Line Bank, I believe. Yeah, the Red Line Banking Company. The woman didn't even really want to speak his name. It turns out Felix Manning is actually on Wilson Fisk's payroll. As we all find out, because like I said, the last episode we saw Daredevil taking a plunge into the damn sea. Turns out, Wilson Fisk knows about that, and he said, "Look," he tells his attorney, "Look, tell Mr. Manning I do not appreciate loose ends not being tied up, or something of that variation." Because Donovan kept saying, "Look, they found no corpse. They found no corpse." And then Wilson Fisk shows Donovan a cell phone video capturing the the fucking fluid and just excellent ass kicking that Daredevil is associated with. I kind of does them. I feel I don't know. If, I seriously do not know if Wilson Fisk genuinely didn't know that Matt Murdock was blind or not. But the fact that he seems so damn surprised at the fact that Matt Murdock can really throw those hands and so forth really baffled me. I'm over here thinking, okay, bro, he's the one who put you in jail. You are a top guy. How the hell do you not know everything about your opponent? And he knows everything about you, your ideology, your philosophy, the way you think. You're pretty much your psychological blueprint. How do you not know shit about him? Even his attorney was like, we checked every damn thing. This man's been blind since he's been 9 years old. And hell, even his attorney was like, how the hell does a blind man escape out of a fucking drowning ass car? How does he make it to shore? So, hey man, look, what can I say? It's full of surprises. So another thing I want to mention, I want to talk about as well. I've noticed that back to the psyche of Special Agent Poindexter. I've noticed that he's really he has a very intense infatuation with this woman in the same exact woman in that photo. He's definitely stalking her. That's for damn sure. I don't know if that's in the byline or not, but I don't know if that's part of the young they do or not. But I know she probably seen him back when they were doing that little run thing. So she had to know something was up. Another thing, Mr. Nadim, Agent Nadim, actually made his breach into Matt Murdock's home. I'm sorry, such a Mac and Matt kind of thing. But anyway, they breached into his house. Nadim obviously knew that he was just home. Nothing out of the ordinary. Another thing I just want to just kind of like make light on as well is just how Karen Page got spooked at the guy known as Felix Manning. She literally pulled up on this man and said, "Look, Felix Manning, look, I'm Karen Page. I work for the Bulletin. I promise you off the record that I will not put your name out in publication. You know, if as long as you tell me the truth about what you do for Wilson Fisk, you're a fixer, Mr. Manning. I know you do this. I know you do that for other clients. Because once your name's out there, Fisk will hang you out to dry, and so forth and so forth. So if I were you, I would start looking out for myself. Mr. Manning, calm, cool, collected guy, says list. Karen Page, daughter of Paxton and Penelope, gave her the address of where she grew up in Vermont. Even gave a very detailed description of where her damn room was in the house, in the back, so then Daddy's little girl could be safe, as he said, and I quote. But he should have kept his more eye on his brother, on his son. Drug addicts really do destroy the family, don't they? And he goes on to say, Miss Page, I don't fix problems. I get rid of them. Shit, that got spooky as hell for me. Wow, this was a compelling ass episode, man, because we finally see Bullseye at his full psychological episode just bash out, man, because we see him finally make his move on Julie, the girl that we saw in the picture earlier on the episode, and everything was going really smoothly. All of a sudden he asked too many pointed questions. Well, I wouldn't say he asked pointed questions, but he had too many forward and pointed answers, so to speak. And naturally and common, it creeped Julie out. It would creep any girl out, or any person for that matter. Julie, and with Benjamin's, desperation for, finding his northern star, if you will, that he told Julie, like, listen, you're really special to me. He grabbed her by the arm. He said, no, listen. I'll pay for dinner. We can just go take a walk and I'll explain. I think she probably should have gave him that explanation. But, I'm glad she got away. Because the guy does have psychotic tendencies. And as we all learned from Dr. Eileen, Dr. Mercer. So, but anyway, to see the fact that how, just for like a little bit, I'll talk about this, how Agent Nadim really just went after, Matt's number 2 associates, number 1 and 2 associates, Foggy and Karen. First, questioning Karen about, okay, have you seen Matt? Have you heard from him? Did he say anything to you? All answers no. He actually, have you seen this man before? She said, yeah, I think that's James Wesley. So then you say, no, so you saw Nadim trying to connect the dots between, as Foggy put it, an alleged Wilson Fisk associate that they didn't know at the time. Guy was working for CGI. They had no idea that he was working on behalf of Wilson Fisk. And we also see how far Wilson Fisk, as he told Donovan, his attorney, fortunately for the public, they're very distracted. Very, very easily distracted. And with that being said, they're going to need a new villain. Since, the Kingpin is the scapegoat of New York, of the Hell's Kitchen. So with that being said, he's completely directed his focus and attention to Bullseye. He literally got everything he got up on the guy. Turns out he's been in psychiatric care since he was a little ass kid. Killing his own damn coach, his little league coach, because he wouldn't let him finish up the game. Because he just kept getting strikeouts. Now, one thing I noticed is that he does not like being, the last for anything. He doesn't like not getting his own way. You even saw the doctor terrifyingly give him borderline personality disorder with psychotic tendencies. And you see that Dex never grew out of that. Even as a teenager, when Dr. Mercer unfortunately passed away, he wanted to kill her just because she was dying because he was leaving him. You know, obviously he's never really learned how to deal with grief or, you know, how to process the fact that people can't always be there for you. Especially in the case of Dr. Mercer, where she just had, you know, had to pass away. She gave him these tapes to listen to whenever he's going into his little mode. You know, we saw him listen to that at the very end of the episode, towards the very end of the episode, to calm himself down because he's very meticulous. Like as I mentioned before, everything has to be a rigid structure. He has to take medication. We saw him at his little loosely jobs that he did for the Brooklyn Psychiatric Suicide Line, where he met Julie, where he first seen Julie. And he's been stalking her ever since. She even made a little playful joke at that when they were having a little dinner. She said, "Oh my gosh, whoop, the secret's out." You know, because Dax playfully said, "Well, it sounds like you've been stalking me. How you know everything about me?" She's like, "Well, damn, the secret's out." You know, just playing off a little joke. But that's actually a conjecture, if you will, a projection, if you will, because that's actually what he's been doing. But you know, it was really interesting how, and then, like I said before, this plays into how even more how Wilson Fisk actually has a lot of sympathy for our Agent Poindexter Dex, because like you said, I have sympathy for you because the public is branding you as a villain. They're vilifying you. Instead of the fact that you're actually a hero, not a villain. And so you can definitely tell him. You can definitely tell that he was using this to his advantage. He played this very, very well. And in terms of Nadeem actually questioning Foggy, you know, Foggy stood his ground. He's an attorney. He's a lawyer. He knows how this shit goes. And so, towards the end in the episode, I was really shocked to see Karen actually break down and say, "I murdered James Wesley. The guy that gave us that stupid sum of money to actually take on his case. I murdered him." I want to know why she did. But I guess we'll know in the next episode. This has been your boy Sherry Speaks, man. I'm sorry for the long review, but here we go. One love. Oh my fucking goodness. Bro, check this out. I'm a dub Dex's Daredevil's impersonation. I'm a dub it Scaredevil because that shit was pretty damn dope, man. See that one-on-one, the first encounter between the two of them? Scaredevil versus Daredevil was nice, man. It was dope. In this episode, though, man, we just saw pretty much Wilson Fisk, his continuation of getting Dex over on his side, aka Bullseye, on his side. He literally sent him a costume of Daredevil just to get him on his side and just to dub this and to further manipulate him to go on to say, like just like everybody else, I will never, just like unlike anybody else, I will not abandon you. I will never abandon you. And then Fisk, you know, went on about, you know, the last thing he got from his mother before she passed while he was away. She gave me a keepsake box, a very little thing I made when I was young, including the hammer that I killed my father with. And not only that, but we also saw Karen track down that Jasper Evans, the man that shanked Wilson Fisk. So then that's how this whole debacle began. She found him, you know, and Jasper said, "Look, man, if I go back inside, my son either is going to be beside me or worse." Because when he went inside the first damn time, he saw, you know, as we saw, his son was knocked the hell out and a drug addict, and he didn't want that for his son. And that was great that he actually did that, you know, because at the end of the day, he's still a father. But then also, Karen and Matt offered Jasper a way out. He said, "Look, either you can come with us right now to exonerate me and to tell us the truth about Wilson Fisk and everything and how he set all this up, so you and your son can run away forever, or I can turn you over to the FBI and then they put you in prison right next to Fisk, and he kills you." So, as we all know, Jasper goes along with what Karen and Matt said. He goes to the bulletin where Scaredevil, that's where Dex decides to dress up in Daredevil's cowl and everything, goes on a killing rampage, throwing projectiles with the Daredevil costume on, as well as using his batons to just murder half the damn, might as well say the entire bulletin staff right there. Not just before that though, Matt had a bit of a conversation with Sister Maggie. She said she was happy to see Matt actually with a smile on his face. You know, she said this wouldn't happen to be about the blonde that I saw earlier, would it? He said, "Yeah, Karen. You know, we're friends. She's helping me out one last time." Matt even made a damn joke, so that made her feel really warm inside because to see her son actually, become, whole again was actually really nice. Because mind you, at the very beginning of the episode, Karen didn't want to do shit. She didn't want to have to do shit with Matt Murdock, but now she does. Man, just saved her damn life. But now Daredevil's name is being skewered through the damn papers. We can only see how this goes. This is Demi Boy Speaks. Love you guys, man. God bless.